Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Hey there, Motorheads. Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Whether you got a 67 Camaro like that, maybe a 1934 Chevrolet, or maybe it's just your daily driver, you want two things. You want it to look great, and you want it to stay that way. You want to protect it. So Donnie, how can you help me at Campbell's Custom Care? How can you help me maintain my car's good looks?
Yes, Dave, here at Campbell's Custom Care, we created the Don. The Don is a go-to product which cleans, seals, and protects your vehicle. It's easy to use. You can use it in the sunlight, you can use it at your car shows, you can use it in your garage, even in your households.
What makes the Don different from some of the other car care products that are out there?
The Don is a water-based product, so you're not going to get that high silicone finish on your vehicles. What we're going for is perfection. We want your cars to look good and stand out. So when you drive to that car show or your local supermarket and people look at your car, they say, wow, what do you use on that car?
There's a lot of folks that say you get something with silicone, that's what you want, but you're telling me it's not in there. How come?
No, the silicone actually is a magnet for dirt, and a lot of people don't realize that. With the water base, what it does, it repels that dust, that grime. So when you do the maintenance wipe downs, when you do the maintenance washes on it, and you have that water-based SiO2 in there, it really helps keep your car maintenance easy.
We were talking earlier, and this just isn't about you. You were talking to other car owners, and you have been your whole life at car shows.
Yes.
So how do you want to help those folks?
So being a detailer by trade now, I really want to help other detailers. I want to make their car detailing easy. I want to give the everyday user an easy opportunity to use something good on their car. I want to make everything user-friendly for people and give them that exact look they're going for.
Let's take a look at just how user-friendly this is.
Absolutely. So what I like to do is I shake the bottle just to get everything mixed up in there, to mist, and then what I do is I'll take a damp microfiber, and all you do is you buff it in, back and forth, set your rag down, and take a dry microfiber and just buff back and forth. And what this is going to do, it's going to give you that high shine, that high clarity, and that slick surface that you want.
Yeah, the shine doesn't always show up on television, but show us how the surfaces compare there, how slick it is, where you just did that, and
okay.
to a surface you haven't touched.
I'm going to toss this rag over to you.
All right.
You ready? All right, so what you're doing is you're going to get a high finish now.
Yep.
And I can show you two hand to hand here, where you're not going to get that push.
Yeah.
It's really a real hard surface, and on here, you got just a slick grade.
Of course, on the Mustang, that's in ideal conditions. Everything's dry. What if it's wet? What if it's not perfect outside?
Yes, Dave, the Don you can apply in any type of element, temperature, rain, shine, anything. So as soon as you get to the car show and you want to apply it and you hit a little bit of sprinkle or something, you can apply it to that surface and wipe it right off.
And speaking of car shows, this is a beautiful 1934 Chevrolet. What about a vehicle like this? You've got your whole life poured into this thing, and you want me to put a chemical or some product on it. How can I be sure it's safe?
Yes, the Don is very safe, and as if you watch by example, you just spray it right on that panel there, that front fender, and you just buff it on. And we got this dry surface here, and it's going to give you that high shine, pull off all that dust, and just make that car look show ready at all times.
That is fantastic. What kind of surfaces besides the paint can I use the Don on?
You can use this on anything. You can use it on glass, chrome, your interior, your dashboard. It's safe on all surfaces.
Well, all surfaces, that means it's perfect for motorcycles. Maybe you have an RV. You can use it on your appliances in your home. You can check out the Don and their entire line at campbellscustomcare.com. And you can check out more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need.
This is Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com. And this is a 20-year-old Heritage Softail. It's a great looking bike, but the owner was actually going to get rid of it. He was ready to be done with it. Until AP Laser came along and he was able to get personalized touches like this. This windscreen here is a tribute to his fiance and his relationship, and this makes it a special item. This was a regular windscreen and now becomes something priceless. And touches like that, and also they're going to be putting headlight shrouds on this thing, also some new saddlebags. Those are all going to be great personal touches on this motorcycle, and that's all, again, thanks to AP Laser. Shannon, how is it easy for AP Laser to go from material to material? We've got leather, we've got metals, and all kinds of things on this motorcycle.
Well, basically you're just changing your speed and power settings. So we give you a guide that tells you, okay, if you're doing wood and engraving wood, what speed and power settings to use. So there's a guide for pretty much all your basic materials. And really it's easy to learn. I mean, sometimes I get a random material and I'm not sure, but you know, practice makes perfect. And
well, not only that, there's some resources you have as an AP Laser user.
oh, definitely. Yeah, you can call 24/7 phone tech support, and that's available for the lifetime of the machine. We also have tons of resources such as their Facebook group. And then we also have AP Laser University, which is a great learning resource. There's tons of videos on there that show you how to use the machine, and lots of things out there that you can, at your fingertips, so you can learn.
We've touched on just a few things with this Harley. What are some other materials and some other pieces on motorcycles you've seen people use the laser for?
Anything from the windshields, like you see in this one, all the way to saddlebags, which we've done. I've done derby covers. I've seen people make urns out of the gas tanks, actually, which is kind of a unique thing. And even the chrome parts and the rims as well.
And the gas cap as well. And check this out. This is for the owner of this motorcycle. Another personalized job here. AP Laser on leather, and that really looks fantastic. I know the owner's a musician, so the guitars there are a really cool tribute to that. Now, what do you get from folks that take an ordinary object like this jacket and then they see it made into something extraordinary?
Well, I make a lot of stuff myself, so I get to see these people's reactions, and it's amazing. I mean, I've seen people cry, honestly. Putting a photograph onto something, for example, it can be priceless. And also, when you have a laser, you can pretty much make whatever you want. So if you want to, you know, make it personalized touch or just be funny with it, it's a great machine to have and a great tool for any business.
What if you get someone who's watching this and they say, well, I'm not an artist, I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. How easy is AP Laser for them to use to make something like that?
Well, Dave, if you dream it, you can do it. And if you can Google it, you can do it too. So really anything out there, you know, like you can create your own designs, and it's very easy. I mean, if I'm looking for, you know, a heart shape or a motorcycle, you know, there's lots of free designs out there that you can use. And basically you just, you know, you find what you want, you put it together, and you put it on your material.
All right, the second step to that then, folks get past that hurdle. What if they say, I'm no good at computers, I could never figure out a machine like this?
Well, really, we have customers anywhere from brand new beginners that are not computer savvy to graphic designers. But no worries, because our tech support is great. They'll walk you through the process. We actually are able to help you out on your computer. We have a team viewer, it's called, where we can jump on your computer and help you out. But we also offer training and 3-year warranty on the machines too, so you're really covered.
From the very start, what's it like for folks to jump into the AP Laser community?
Well, it really is a community that is welcoming you with open arms. I mean, our customers make friends, you know, they're always sharing ideas. It's a continuing learning process, but you can also start with the machine and be able to make products right away.
You said your imagination is the only limit when it comes to designing on AP Laser, and part of that has to do with its design.
Right.
What are some physical attributes of the AP Laser that make it easy to engrave on different materials and different size objects?
Well, the AP Laser is actually a 3-part system, so you can remove this whole Z table underneath it, and you can engrave any size item. You can also lift the laser up off its frame and set it onto something to engrave as well. So there's really no size or weight limitation to what you can do with the AP Laser.
AP Laser makes it easy to use. You can take the simple and you can make it into something extraordinary. Open a business, do it with AP Laser. Find them at aplaser.com. And find more Motorhead Garage presented by dragonfiretools.com when we come back.
Motorhead Garage, brought to you by Dragonfire Tools. Heavy-duty workbenches and cabinets for your shop or garage.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. And we are talking about odors. Now, bad odors are everywhere, and they're especially hard to get rid of if they're in your vehicle. And now, Chris, there are other people claiming to eliminate odors out there, but what's wrong with those products?
What you're going to find is a lot of the other products are using cover scents. They spray in a particular cover spray that grabs the odor. It basically buries it or puts it deep down into the fibers for a short time, but that's a temporary solution. It's not a permanent solution.
So if you start out with a mildew smell, you add some orange scent to it, you've got orange mildew now after a time. So that's no good.
Exactly.
But dead scent kills the scent. And how do you do it?
Well, dead scent is using ClO2 or chlorine dioxide. Chlorine dioxide is a powerful oxidizing chemical compound.
Chlorine dioxide sounds dangerous.
Well, actually, it sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
It does have the word chlorine in the name,
yeah,
but it's not dangerous. That's where it ends being anywhere near like bleach, which has dangerous byproducts. Chlorine dioxide, when it's done doing its thing with eliminating odors, breaks down to something as simple as water and salt.
And how does it actually work? How does it eliminate the odors?
Well, chlorine dioxide is made of 2 oxygen atoms and 1 chlorine atom. And what it does is it oxidizes the odor molecules by breaking off, and it has that selective property that can break off and attack the molecules of the odors, breaking them apart and dissolving them permanently.
Is dead scent something that's going to be used by professionals, or can you do this at home?
Both. This is actually something that is used by professionals. There are some, let's say, professional remediation companies will use chlorine dioxide that can use dead scent. We have auto auctions that will purchase and use it to recondition vehicles before they go to the auction block and back out into the market to get rid of the bad odors. But it's also been designed to be safe for your average consumer to use in the home with no chemical, hand-to-chemical contact.
I think the thing that's significant is the same kit is being used by the pros. You can use that same kit at home as well.
Exactly.
And you've got different vehicles covered here. You've got boats and cars and SUVs as well. Mm-hmm. Why the different sizes?
We find that there is a need to have a different size, gram size, depending on the size of the area being treated and also on the severity of the odor. Let's face it, for someone who just has a basic musty smell, you might get away with a lower gram treatment pack. Whereas if a vehicle's been sitting for a long time, or say an RV or a boat for a long time, they have a stronger odor, then they're going to up their game to a 50 or even sometimes the 100 gram treatment pack. That allows the consumer to now graduate the treatment based on what the level of odor is in that area.
We talked about odors. There are all kinds. What can dead scent eliminate? What kind of odors?
Well, one of the biggest that we're thinking about is smoke smell. That's huge. We hear that all the time. But also mice or rodents that get into vehicles. Also, it could be just food. People taking their kids back and forth using it, or people driving while they're eating at the same time, things get spilled. Could be pet odors in the vehicle. All these things, again, we talked about mold and musty smells, all these odors build up over time within a vehicle or within an RV or a boat. So if you name the odor, chlorine dioxide can go after and will eliminate it.
A dead scent comes in a kit.
Yes.
How does the kit actually work once you get it?
Well, once they open up the treatment, the plastic containment system here, that's the treatment pack. That is going to be laid flat inside the treatment area that they're going to add water to the line, and then they would open the foil pouch where the treatment pack is located. Take that out, you're going to see a yellow side and a blue side. The blue side is then placed into the water. At that point in time, the water is absorbed, it comes through the treatment kit, it will swell, and then it begins to react and off gas, and ClO2 will then be released into the area.
I know you said it's safe, but how long do I need to wait before I actually get back into the vehicle after we give it a treatment?
We recommend a minimum of 6 hours for a treatment. If you can go longer, that's even better. If it's out in the direct sunlight, then we would recommend you wait until it's out of direct sunlight or in a garage, somewhere where the sun isn't beating in, because sun will react with ClO2. You want to let it run then again, minimum 6 hours. We recommend, if you have the opportunity, again, overnight is even better. And then once it's done, you've got to give yourself at least an hour to let things air out and let all that gas out of the vehicle.
By the way, there's also a kit for hunters, so it'll take the scent out of your clothing. The deer won't even know you're out there. You can find that and all these products from Dead Scent at deadscent.com. And you can find more of Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com just around the corner.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics, and by Steel Rubber Products, quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Now, maybe you're an overlander. You love to camp in something like this. Maybe you just love camping in a tent. Maybe you're a racer. Well, you know, all those things happen predominantly in the summertime, and you know it's hot. And if you're like me, you're irritated because it's hot. There's a way around that, though, Jonathan. Zero Breeze. Give me a snapshot of what this does.
So this is a game-changing product. It's a portable air conditioning unit, battery powered. Each battery lasts about 5 hours, is what we say. 2,300 BTU. It's rated to cool 40, 50 square foot. If it's insulated, maybe a little bit more. You're looking at a 25 to 30 degree ambient temperature drop.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how does it work? It's a super simple machine.
So it is a compressor with refrigerant, closed loop system, no maintenance needed. Don't need to replace the refrigerant. Works as a dehumidifier, as most air conditionings do.
when it's in my vehicle, then first of all, how to get rid of that condensation?
Yeah, so we have a condensation port right here. It comes with a little tube. Put it in and just drain that wherever.
There's ducting for it in and out. You've got to exhaust that hot air.
Yeah. So ducts clip on the back, duct that out where you're trying to cool. If you do have the unit out, we have a front duct for the return air and the colder as well that you can duct into where you're trying to cool too.
How much control do I have over temperature and fan speed and all that stuff?
Fan speed, you have some buttons up here that will control the fan speed and then the compressor speed as well. In terms of temperature, it just blows cold air.
Do I have any options when it comes to batteries?
Yeah, so these are the batteries that you can buy with the unit. You can use a Jackery, which is something like this. It comes with a 110 plug-in that you can just plug right into it.
Can it run off a 12-volt system?
Yes, so we have a 12 to 24 volt converter. That comes with a hard wire that you can hardwire into a 12-volt battery system, and it also comes with a cigarette lighter plug-in that will be able to charge the batteries as well.
Now, what if I'm really off the grid? Then what?
So you can use solar. We actually sell a 100-watt solar panel. It would charge it a little bit slower. The normal charge time is about 5 hours, so it might take 7 to 8 hours, but you can charge it on solar.
How easy is this to carry around?
So the unit itself weighs 15 pounds, and if you add a battery, you're at about 28 pounds, so super light.
And then, of course, when you're out and about, you've got a lot of accessories, a lot of things that hook up with USB and things like that. Can I use that with the Zero Breeze?
With the batteries, yeah. So we have some USB ports up there that you can charge your phone off of. It is going to reduce the runtime of the AC if you're charging separate things, but you can do it.
That's fantastic. Yeah. I mentioned overlanders and campers. Who are the kind of folks you talk to that are using this and really getting benefits from Zero Breeze?
Rooftop tents. So people who have rooftop tents in the summer, they'll put this in their tent. Trailers like this. Van life vans, they'll use it to cool down their vans as well.
Of course, when you're overlanding or off-roading, this thing's going to take all kinds of abuse from weather and from the conditions. How durable is it?
So shockproof and water resistant. A lot of people take them in their trailers or in their cabs of the cars where they're off-roading, and they do totally fine. And then we were in Florida not too long ago, and it started to pour rain, and these sat out there running perfectly fine. So yeah, water resistant, shockproof.
Excellent. What about accessories? What can I get to complement my Zero Breeze?
So we do have a power extension dock that lets you do a few things. It lets you hook up 2 batteries, run the unit, 10 to 12 hours of runtime. You can charge both batteries with that as well, or you can run the unit and charge the battery at the same time with that.
You go to a lot of shows. What are the reactions you get from folks who are looking at Zero Breeze for the first time?
We get a lot of people who have seen us online but actually haven't seen the unit in person, and we have them running at the shows, and people are shocked that it actually works, that it's a real compressor system and refrigerant. You know, it brings the temperature down 25, 30 degrees. They'll end up buying one right on the spot too.
Well, we were surprised too when they brought it in. The Zero Breeze really does work. This thing is amazing. You can find it at zerobreeze.com.
What's an engine with no motor oil? It's a big molten metal pile. It's not going to function at all. This AMSOIL segment's all about motor oil 101. And Len, everybody knows it protects and it lubricates, so let's do a little demo here. Listen to this. These are 2 pieces of metal with no oil between them, and you can hear that. Just a couple of drops. We don't need a whole lot. See how accurate you are, Len. Pretty good. Put it between there, and you can't hear it. It's actually producing that layer between there, and that's the job of the motor oil, but it's a lot deeper than that. Speak to this graphic here. That's how it actually works.
Right, this graphic represents, the yellow represents the oil that's being forced into that bearing clearance by the pump. And what you're looking for there is as the shaft turns, it actually builds an oil wedge that those parts are riding on. And you want to maintain that at all costs. You don't want to see parts touching.
Yeah, and if you do, you end up getting something like this here. Now, you can see this bearing. This is a main bearing, and this is a thrust bearing, and it's totally wiped out from that metal-to-metal contact. It should look something like this, and this one's been in there for a while, did a good job. We ran AMSOIL. Now, you can see the graphic right here. There's the leading competitor, and AMSOIL, bearings and oil go together, and it makes a big difference. So right there's the oil gallery as well. Oil has to travel through the engine, and these new technologies have stuff on the top of the engine. It's got to get there. It's like a balloon. You need oil pressure. Oil is responsible for that.
That's correct. And it's quite a distance that it has to travel. And so that takes time. So the oil needs to move. You get into some of these new technologies, start-stop technology. The engine shuts off when you're at a stop sign. When you let your foot off the brake, it starts back up. You could be partway through the intersection before that vehicle has any oil pressure. So it's critical that the oil have good quality base oil, that you have the proper amount of anti-wear additive to keep those bearings in great shape and to keep that engine running properly.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm an automotive instructor, never thought of that. Every time that car's stopping, 10, 20, 30, 50 times a day now with start-stop technology, you're losing oil pressure. So you want good oil? Get the AMSOIL. Go to their website at www.amsoil.com.
We're going to do more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com next week. We hope you join us then. In the meantime, if you have a product you want to see on our show, email me, Dave@MotorheadGarage.tv. We'll get you here in the studio. From our entire crew here at Motorhead Garage, we'll see you next time. Have a great week.